So y'all, it is Friday night, and I'm like, what better way to unwind and chill out tonight than to watch Love Is Blind UK? I've done my skincare already. I worked out already, had my dinner, had my evening snack. So now I am ready to cozy up on the couch and watch this drama unfold. Hey guys, my name is Portia. Welcome back to my channel. So guys, today's video is unlike anything that I've done before. But I am kind of excited about this video. So today's video is going to be about Love Is Blind UK. So out of all of the Love Is Blind collections, I like UK the best. I loved the first season. I've watched some other collections from the States. I've watched Germany's Love Is Blind, and listen, the German men are savages, okay? Savages. So yeah, so I want to do like a recap because season 1 was so good. So I gotta watch season 2, and I want to like talk about it and discuss it. So yes, if you guys are interested in that, stick around. So ladies and gents, if you're watching, grab you a nice bubbly drink. Today your girl has sparkling water, and let's get this going. So the plan is to do 2 episodes per video. So today I'm going to walk through or talk through episodes 1 and 2. And I'm not quite sure yet how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to watch, so in this video I will be watching it as I give my commentary, but I'm also going to try watching it first and then doing a recap. Like, I'm gonna see which video would be easier. I mean, not easier, but more engaging, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, you guys, so let's get started.
Why is this so hard? I'm very aware that I'm single because of myself.
So far we've met 2 women. Ashley, which Ashley has a personality that anybody she meets, she makes you feel like you're like their best friend, that she's your best friend. Like, she has that personality that she literally has never met a stranger. And then we meet Sophie, which is complete opposite. Sophie has a hard exterior. She's slow to trust anyone. And I hope that doesn't become a hindrance with her coming on this show, because I get it. We all have childhood traumas. I've been where she is now. Like, you just don't trust people, especially in relationships, because you don't know anybody's intention. But whenever you come on a show like Love Is Blind, you have to let go of certain guards, let down certain walls, and do things differently than how you would normally do it. So if you bring your outside mindset into this environment, what kind of results are you going to get? So we're going to see. We're going to see if she's going to be her own worst enemy. Yeah.
The surface. What do you do?
I am a commercial manager for a global renewables company.
Wow. Sustainability and all that.
I love to say that's why I do it, but it actually pays really well.
So what about family?
Okay, so we just met another guy, Kieran. I love his name, by the way. He and Sophie were both in long-term relationships, 5+ years, but they weren't in love with that person. When people say stuff like that, it makes you wonder, like, why are you sticking with somebody who you don't care about? You wasting your time because you know the whole time you don't feel how they feel. So why are you prolonging the inevitable? Let that person go and let them go find somebody who loves them. Like, why are you holding on? But you know what it is? It's because A lot of people are scared to be alone, and it's that old school mindset. I'd rather have half a person than no person. And people will force relationships, they will force feelings, whenever they know that they should be moving on. So when people say stuff like that, it really irks me. Like you know, after 2 years of being with that person, that you didn't love them, but yet you kept stringing them along for 5 plus years, 5 plus years. Nonsense. That's crazy work. That is crazy work.
You, like kids-wise, you want kids?
Yeah, I want kids. Do you?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So also with these shows, I feel like the people are very superficial. No, I feel like they're very surface level whenever they're talking about what they want in a partner. I want somebody who's obsessed with me, somebody who I love coming home to every day, somebody who I always want to be with, somebody who I have fun with all the time. And the reality, whether it's a relationship or a marriage, that's not going to happen. It's going to be days when you come through their door, you're going to be like, you again? Today? I just saw you yesterday and the day before. You back today? Again? And it's gonna be days where you just don't feel like dealing with that person. And I feel like when they come on these shows, they're so giddy and excited about finding their person that a lot of their views can be very surface level. Their expectations are very very vain and surface level. So this Megan lady looks just like a Disney star. Um, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of the Disney star that I'm talking about and put her here. Then I'll show you a picture of Megan. They look like twins. It's crazy. So y'all, we just met Patrick. Patrick, listen, nothing wrong with people who are spiritual. I consider myself to be very spiritual, but he has this thing where he follows his spleen. Grown man talking like that already is a red flag for me. He follows his spleen. His spleen tells him what to do, whether something's a good idea or a bad idea. And he's a human design coach. What does that mean? Like, what is that? What does that mean? Red flag. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, sorry. So we're still in episode one, about halfway through, and it looks like Billy and Ashley are really feeling each other. But Ashley gives off the vibes that, yes, I think she's a really sweet person, a genuine person, but I also feel like she gives off those vibes that she's willing to shape herself into the woman that the man that she's with wants her to be or needs her to be. And my fear for her is that she, she will lose herself in a relationship, and that's very scary, I think, for a woman, because I did experience that in my marriage. um, I've experienced it before. Your life becomes so engulfed in one person and revolves around one person until when that relationship ends, you have no idea who you are or what you like. And my fear for Ashley is that she is one of those women, and we all have done it or do it subconsciously. You shape yourself to be who the person that you are is dependent on the person that you're with. I hope I'm wrong. She seemed like a very sweet girl, but that's my concern right now with her. And Billy seems to be a pretty cool guy. A heavy Scottish accent. Looks very nerdy. Like he looks like an adult kid. um. So yeah. So let's keep watching these two. We're gonna see where this goes. So we just watched the part of the episode where Kieran talked to Megan first, and then right after that he spoke to Sophie. And his conversation was about intimacy. So he and Megan, they both kind of fed off each other, talking about intimacy and sex, but you know, not just throwing subtle hints about it. Whereas in he and Sophie seemed to be more reserved in that area, which I think is perfectly fine. More reserved than what Kieran wants. And so, because she didn't answer the same way and with the same enthusiasm as Megan, it seems to be an issue for Kieran. And my issue with that is for some people, even in 2025, that conversation can be very taboo, very uncomfortable, especially with someone you're just meeting. So the fact that he is judging her based off of this one conversation, I think is unfair, and I think is immature in a way. Um, but also after that conversation, Sophie made a comment that has me wondering. So she said the only man that she's ever been vulnerable with, 100%, who has seen all of her and who knows all of her, is her father. And I wonder if she had that male figure in her life that made her so comfortable that she could be herself and be her genuine and true self, why is dating so hard for her? Because I would feel like right away she could say, no, that one is not like my daddy, and just keep going. And she would know what characteristics and qualities to look for in a partner and ones to avoid. So the fact that she had a very healthy relationship with her father, but still having man issues, I don't know. Like, am I overthinking it? Because if she grew up without a father, then I can see her having insecurities in that area. Um, Hard to trust people, but she grew up with a father who was very present in her emotional development. So I'm just wondering why she's having a hard time opening up and being vulnerable to men in relationships. Let's keep watching. So Ashley is opening up to Billy about her childhood. And as an adult, when we look back on these moments, we're like, wow, like our parents really did depend on us at such a young age. She talked about how when her parents split, her at 16 felt the need to help out her mom with the finances for her and her siblings. And so I too, when I became 16, started working. And I remember my very first job was at Food Lion. And my first paycheck, I remember so vividly. My mom was outside waiting for that paycheck. And it's nothing against her because she did on my birthday buy me a car. I was the first kid to actually get a car on my 16th birthday. Um, and I knew that she had done a lot, made a lot of sacrifices as a single mom of four. So I didn't mind helping her out. I don't think it was until I became adult, actually within the past few years, that you realize how much of a responsibility that was, and how unfair, it is whenever our parents rely on us in that way, and you can't really enjoy. It's like at that moment, your childhood no longer exists, right? You overnight went from a teenager to being a provider. And I guess for Ashley, you can see that in her personality that she definitely likes to take care of people. Um, and that can also lead to insecurities too. You at a young age you realize that you have to step up and help those who you love, taking responsibility of them. But is that who you become? Do you become a savior for everybody? right? And if you don't save people, are they gonna love me? Do they want to be around me? You know, it opens up so many doors to so many other things. And after her and Billy's conversation at the end, she said, I want someone who's gonna finally take care of me. Man, crazy, crazy. Y'all, I was recording from my laptop, and tell me why we get to the end, the last 20 minutes, and the freaking laptop, everything that I talked about, all my commentary, nothing recorded. Nothing. Anyway, so I talked about um Billy and Ashley. So Billy has been married before, and he states that one of the issues that he felt like contributed to his divorce was he and his wife both traveling for work. He felt like the time apart caused issues. And so my first question to Billy is, if you know that being with somebody who travels is a no for you, or a red flag, or a deal breaker, how is your biggest connection with somebody who travels for a living? I mean, it's like, why do we set boundaries and deal breakers if they're not really boundaries and deal breakers? So that's my question to him, because he's been married before. He knows what he wants, what he's looking for. And so I'm wondering why, because one or two things are going to happen. If this issue isn't sorted out before, but let's say they decide to move forward. If the issue isn't sorted out, then one or two things can happen. Either he give her an ultimatum for her to quit her job, which is going to cause her to resent him, or he steps back, allow her to make that decision, and then he resents her, and then it still becomes an issue. Because she also said that her being cabin crew, which is equivalent to a flight attendant, I'm thinking, in the States, has been a continued issue in all of her relationships. So we're gonna see. And I also talked about Sarova and Cal. So this is also a couple that we meet in episode 1. However, I haven't said much about them because nothing much really sticks out yet about them. Except for one thing, which is he's apparently half Pakistani and she's Indian. And so culturally, they don't typically see eye to eye. Actually, Cal made a statement that had it been 10 to 15 years ago, he and Sarova wouldn't even be in the same room together. So now I'm curious to see how this is all going to play out. And remind you, like, Sarova is Cal's favorite connection, and Cal is Sarova's favorite connection. But there's that huge cultural difference. And so what do? Do you please your parents or do you please yourself? I don't know. We have to keep watching to see what happens. All right, guys. So that concludes episode 1. And the fact that I have been having so many recording issues, I'm not even going to attempt episode 2 in this video, guys. I'm so sorry. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this whole setup and regroup, and then start a new plan with season 2. But I do plan to record season 2 on tomorrow. So I'm sorry, not season 2, episode 2. I plan to record episode 2 tomorrow. It's getting late now. It's like almost 9 o'clock. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just shut the recording part down for tonight. But y'all, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back because Billy and Ashley is a couple to watch. Sarova and Cal is now a couple to watch. And now I'm interested in Patrick and see how he plays out in this whole thing. Because I feel like Patrick is, I'm not gonna call him a fuckboy, but I feel like he likes to play games and he's not serious about anything. And he's very surface level. Yeah, so we're gonna see how all this goes. All right, y'all. So, cheers into the next episode, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.